Welcome to Forests, Fire and Futures, a new podcast from the School of Forestry at Northern Arizona University. I'm Executive Director Dave Orty, and in this podcast series we're going to share details about our courses, the latest research and technical developments in natural resource stewardship, and the student experience in forestry at NAU. What I'm hoping you will get from listening to this series of podcasts is some insight into the breadth of activity in research, teaching, and our degree offerings are available in the School of Forestry.
Before I chose forestry, I had no clue what it entailed. I just kind of learned it along the way, and I have zero regrets.
I think the School of Forestry, they set up really well to get students ready for the larger topics they may experience in future careers.
In this first episode, you'll hear about our two new online degree programs, Online and On Point.
My name is Andy Thode. I'm a professor in fire ecology and management in the School of Forestry. We have two new online programs. One is an applied wildland fire science degree, which is a bachelor's of science, and the other is a master's degree in forest and natural resource management. They're our first online degrees besides certificates. Students get online when it's convenient for them and work through assignments and lectures and videos and other things. The courses in this program are based around three pillars, which include ecological aspects, social aspects, and human dimensions, and then the management pieces that surround us in natural resources. With the new Applied Wildland Fire Science degree, one of our hopes is really to be able to reach folks that we haven't been able to reach with our standard in-house forestry degree. It's going to be a lot more accessible for non-traditional students and for professionals in the field who have degrees in non-science related fields or don't have a degree. This will allow them to come back to school. And then there's up-and-coming professionals that maybe live far away or have family to take care of or have full-time jobs that they need to work around. So the hope is that we can bring some opportunities that otherwise wouldn't exist. Our new Applied Wildland Fire Science degree is also tied heavily with Coconino Community College so that we have a 2+2 with them so that students that want to start in a community college environment can then move into this degree at NAU. In our new Applied Wildland Fire Science degree, not only will we be looking at pre-fire, how do we do management to prevent these things from happening, but we'll also be looking at what's happening during the fire environment, and then what do we do with these post-fire landscapes, and how do we deal with those with climate change and in the future. There are a number of similarities in the first 2 years of the Applied Wildland Fire Science degree with our in-house Bachelor's of Forestry degree, but then it does start to diverge in the junior and the senior year for sure. One of the aspects that I'm really excited about is the required internship to not only build the book learning, but build the field learning, right? The on-the-ground experience so that students have some experiential learning built into the program, which is something we hear from managers on the ground and employers. How do you run an engine? How do you use a drip torch? What kind of patterns of fire do you put down in the ground? And so having more of these types of experiences that our students can come out with as well as the book learning is really critical to their success on the ground.
My name is Cole Brandt. I worked on a wildland fire crew in Northern California. It was definitely hard, but it was also really inspiring. I think it was just very impactful. I made a lot of great friends. I also got to learn a lot of new skills. Falling trees, how to take one down safely, how to take maybe bigger ones down than I was used to. Dragging a drip torch in different firing patterns. But it really just showed how important getting out there is, and I had a lot to learn in the moment on the ground.
We have a number of different internship opportunities starting to line up for our Applied Wildland Fire Science degree, which includes opportunities doing prescribed fire with the Nature Conservancy, working with the American Conservation Experience, working with federal agencies, state agencies, particularly the Department of Forest and Fire Management. We're looking into ways to work with them. And then also some other nonprofits and state and federal organizations.
I work in the summertime as a wildland firefighter. A lot of people go in as a GS3. My first year, I was able to get hired as a GS4 because of the educational experience I had. I work on a crew. I'm the only female on that crew, working from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. digging line or holding while a different crew fires or firing while different crews hold. No 2 days have been the same. This summer I went to the Tonto and the Apache Sitgreaves, and I helped with large fires that they needed help with. And the Tonto especially was being lit up this year by lightning, and those fires were running. Those were not little initial attack starts, those were like 100-acre attack starts.
The new Masters of Forestry in Forest and Natural Resource Management, really it's kind of targeted at students who are interested in taking their career to the next step or having a higher level of understanding in the science and how that can apply to management. And I think employers are interested in seeing that connection to the science with a lot of their employees. That program is for folks who have an undergraduate degree but want to come back and get some specificity in the world of natural resources and forestry. Potentially non-traditional students, full-time working, you could do the program part-time or full-time. The courses will be asynchronous online, meaning that they can be done at the convenience of the people taking the courses. They're either 16-week or 7.5-week courses, which start at the beginning of the semester or in the middle of the semester.
My name is Jack Burnett. I'm an assistant teaching professor. What's really exciting about teaching in this new online master's and online bachelor's program is the accessibility that it's offering, the ability for folks who might, due to different circumstances, maybe they have financial commitments or other reasons that they can't uproot their lives and move to a new place. It's a really exciting way for them to be able to get engaged in forestry and natural resource management and be able to further their career or switch to an entirely new career in a very accessible and open way.
My name is Dr. Kelsey Bryant. I am Assistant Professor of Fire, Forestry, and Climate. I'm very interested in teaching online. I graduated during COVID, and I've adapted a lot of course materials to online dissemination and found creative ways to do it. I even send students outside, so they're still getting outside in an online format. I'm going to be helping with the online masters. This is a very inclusive effort. We really want to reach a number of voices who should be included in forestry but maybe can't because of access, and so this is a way for us to reach those people, and I'm very excited to help that effort. An example of an online activity is teaching students about different burn scars and how different trees respond to fire. There are many, many burned areas, so it's not hard to point students to a location, have them go to a location, maybe take pictures of these different trees. They can turn in the pictures to show that they've been there. So just getting out there, as silly as it sounds, and just having a general reading assignment, and at the end saying, go to X spot, tell me what you see, write down how you think the current environment is affecting what you see, and then asking questions. How do you think that would change if a fire came through? If it was really dry this year and we didn't have a monsoon season? The beauty about online courses is you can give an assignment and it allows people to accomplish it at their own pace, in their own space, in their own time. Part of the reason why many people are taking an online degree is because they have very full lives. They may not have access to resources that allows them to go be part of a lab and do this in the traditional sense. So giving an assignment where they can go out that weekend or 2 weeks later or with their kids or whenever is convenient for them is a much more inclusive effort.
The new online master's degree really will give people a chance to take their careers up to the next level by moving from a bachelor's degree to a master's. And in many fields of study, that actually gets you a higher pay grade, allows you to get into new jobs in new areas that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get to. So I think that will be a great advantage to our students. Employers are really looking for a combination of understanding science, being able to interpret it for managers, and being able to apply it on the ground with on-the-ground skills out in the field. We've had a number of employers review our program to look at the effectiveness of it for people coming out of education into the management world. We have a number of resources for students joining these programs, both at the undergraduate and graduate level. We've been able to develop a student success team, which has folks that students can talk to about what courses they should be taking, what are outside resources that they might need.
My name is Lauren Orm. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the Inclusive Recruitment and Retention Manager for Northern Arizona University's School of Forestry. It can be really thrilling to be able to show up authentically into your work as your whole self, but it can also feel sometimes challenging if you're looking around a space, perhaps a classroom or an internship, and you don't necessarily see someone who shares an identity or you can see yourself reflected in. And so one of the most important parts about my job is making sure that these communities of students are supported and represented, and they understand that their differences are what make our School of Forestry so special and so strong.
I think you'd be surprised of just the variety of backgrounds people have. People like me who took some time off, people with non-science backgrounds, they're just interested in learning more. I think there's strengths and skills you can gain in any sort of profession you've had or any sort of education you've had before that I think can all be helpful. You don't have to come in knowing all the science, but if you're coming in willing to learn and apply yourself, I think that's kind of the biggest thing.
My name is Emmy Vanderplume. I'm doing a certificate in forest health and restoration. It's never too late to come to school. It's empowering, I think, for everyone. And I think that's what makes the forestry program so strong, is all of the different perspectives, but also the respect that everyone has for each other.
I'm Heather Weisberger. I'm a client services manager. We had a number of students participate in listening sessions as part of a research project we did last spring. And one of the things the majority of them said is they chose fields in natural resource management, fire science, forestry, because they wanted to, quote, save the world. They understand that climate change is an important topic and that we actually need to do something about it, and they are extremely motivated to contribute to the solutions.
My name is Ren Natras. I am earning my certificate in forest health and ecological restoration. If you want to work outside and you want to be an active part of change in the way that the Forest Service or any other department like that works, then definitely join forestry. It's really booming right now. I would definitely recommend 10 out of 10.
The degree, do it. There's so many different job opportunities. It is incredible. I say for anybody, do the forestry degree. For women that want to do wildland fire, absolutely do it.
The future of wildland fire management and natural resource management is in your hands.
The key to these new programs is flexibility. We're helping you to get a professional qualification in a field where expertise is really needed and where you can help to solve some of the pressing environmental challenges that we face.